Well, Chris Matthews over at MSNBC is warning about the evils of socialism, and they're actually having a debate where some people defend the idea. The real reason Democrats keep losing, okay, not the real reason, one of the reasons Democrats keep losing is this, a viral photo that went around that people are obsessed with. Because instead of talking about healthcare, let's go back to James Carville. Did you watch my segment on this? The collapse of the Democratic Party is here. James Carville, longtime Democratic strategist, was saying, you had Trump in Davos saying he wanted to cut Medicare, and not one person in the Democratic Party thought to plaster that image all over the web. No, you see, they're too busy bickering about each other, about scandals, about the economy being bad when it's actually good, because apparently no one on their side has any sense. I guess technically Bill Maher does, but not enough. Even in his debate with Bannon, Bill Maher couldn't see it. But I bring you now to one of my favorite examples, one of my favorite reasons the Democrats lost. They complain about insanity. They have no principles. Now, okay, not all of them, but many of them. The people that they have lined behind them as their core army to support them are people who are just there for the party and nothing else. I look at like all these male feminists who turn out to be abusers. They never cared about your cause. They were just trying to get them some. And now I look at this from Vox. What is up with that tan line photo of Trump? The conversation around Trump's viral tan line is more than skin deep. Now, I'm sure many of you are saying, oh, come on, Tim. No one really cares. It was the number one trend on Twitter. The number one trend on Twitter. And I sit back because Trump supporters are laughing. They love it. Not only is Trump self-deprecating in his entertainment, he knows who he is. He knows what he represents. And he knows who the Democrats are. When I went to the White House, I heard Donald Trump make jokes about himself and everyone loved it. You know why? He understands comedy, and so do the conservatives. Taking the joke away from them diffuses it so they can't use it against you. Donald Trump went on TV and he says, go ahead, pull on my hair. He makes jokes about it all the time. He's confident. He doesn't care if you make fun of him. Now, they'll claim he's so very sensitive about his appearance. I mean, probably, but he knows how to diffuse the power of their insults. So right now, while Trump is having his best week ever, impeachment acquittal, he's getting rid of the people who testified against him. He's firing people he views as insubordinate. He just won the emoluments lawsuit. The Democrats are bickering about a silly photograph that makes Trump look silly. It's a bad photo of Trump, as if no one's ever had a bad photo before. That's your focus? Did no one think to plaster the speech Trump gave about Medicare all over the internet, like James Carville said? Apparently not. So you know what? They don't deserve to win. Look, if you played the game right, I'd be right. I'd say, hey, this is a great play. It's unfortunate it didn't work. I think they deserve this one. Well, if this is what you care about, then don't be surprised when regular Americans are confused as to what you're upset about. Think about it this way. To the 80 or so % of Americans who are not on Twitter, who are out working, or concerned about where their kids are going to school, you're sitting there bickering about an orange photo of Trump. And that's what you're talking about. So when it comes time to debate, they're going to be like, oh, I don't care about that photo. And you're going to be like, what do you mean you don't care? Everybody cares about this. We're all laughing at it. And they're going to be like, but how my kid's got to go to college. And they're going to just say like, but the photo, it's so funny. This is what we talk about. Congratulations. Your opportunity, your chance, your requirement to strike back at Trump during one of his pivotal victory weeks. Instead, you dance around like Tweedledee and Tweedledum laughing at a stupid photograph. They couldn't for the life of them just talk about any kitchen table issue. In fact, they probably say kitchen table issue more than they talk about the issues themselves. The conversation around Trump's viral tan line is more than skin deep. Why? Who cares? Bernie's got crazy hair and people make fun of it sometimes. So what? What are Republicans talking about? They're talking about the impeachment, Trump's victories, the economy, issues. So when a Trump supporter walks up and says, how's the economy going? They go, actually, it's really good. Then they look at the Democrat and the Democrat goes, did you see Trump's face? It's orange. And they're like, I guess. I mean, like, what was that about the good economy again? I'd like to make more money. So here's the photo. And it's like Trump was walking. He's got a weird, spray tan. He's got wind blowing in his face. It pulled his hair back, and you can see that like his face is spray tanned or whatever. Here's the thing. It's probably a saturated photo. Do you know what saturation means? When you take a picture, you can go into like Photoshop and you can increase the color saturation to become more vibrant. Here's the actual photo. Vox shows it. I mean, you can see Trump's tan line because we all know he gets a spray tan or something. But then you see this one that clearly looks like they saturated the image to make it seem like he's more orange. It's the weirdest thing. And it's really frustrating for me. When you see a clip from CNN or ABC and they seriously do boost the reds so Trump looks bright orange, it's the weirdest thing. And it doesn't work. Trump supporters don't care. They love it. It's funny to them. Now, of course, they'll call out the fake news for being fake news. But this image of Trump was actually a meme on the Donald. They do it all the time. They think it's hilarious. They take left-wing memes and they vote them up so they can all see them and laugh about it. You know why? First of all, I gotta admit, it is funny. The memes are hilarious. But I think it also represents something profound that they know, that the Democrats don't, that the left doesn't get. They know that's all you care about. And the more they present this silliness, the less you focus on actually winning. They're knocking you off base. Vox actually wrote an entire article about this. I love it. They even talk about how photographer William Moon may lose his job because Trump would be so offended by the photo. Meanwhile, Trump's own supporters used the image in a meme that made it to like the top of their subreddit. They're laughing. They love it. You know what's funny is they try to look, let me scroll down. I think it says here, Trump is sensitive about his appearance and seems well aware of the narrative power of images. Right. But Trump also understands the narrative power of not looking like a whiny baby over a silly photograph. So Trump supporters know this, and they don't let it get to them. And that's a big difference between why Trump won and the Democrats don't. It's a big difference about what attracts people to, Donald Trump or to the right as opposed to the left. The left is complaining about everything. I don't mean literally everybody on the left. I mean, you look at the body positivity stuff, the intersectionality stuff. It's like everything is wrong no matter what they do. We just had Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble did diversity book covers, and the left still complained. They were like, we're going to make great books with diverse covers. And then they came out and say, how dare you make diverse covers without actual news stories? But then they do, race changes in movies, and they're like superficial change. Hey, there's no way to be right. On the right-wing side, you could tell a stupid joke that's really offensive and nobody cares. In fact, they laugh about it. So where do you want to stand? With the people who are looking at the photo of Trump and laughing about it, not caring, not being fazed, just having a good time, cracking a beer? Or the people who are obsessed with it as if it matters? They say Trump's distinctive appearance, the poofy flaxen hair, the perennially bronzed face has long been a topic of fixation since well before he entered politics. For his detractors, the president's appearance has been a source of mockery. Beginning in the 80s, when he was a real estate mogul in New York, the underground publication Spy began referring to him as short-fingered vulgarian. The image-based critiques have only increased since he took the world stage as president. In part, this is because the conversation around the president's looks, particularly his trademark hue, is more than skin deep. It has given his opponents an easy way to ridicule him, comparing his skin to Cheetos or hoisting large orange balloons in his likeness. That does not touch upon the substance of his presidency or policies, and is in a way reminiscent of the president's own nicknames for his enemies like Mini Mike. But the problem is, does it work? No. I mean, maybe a little bit. But Mini Mike does work. Trump brands people to represent ideas about them. Low energy. That was a dig at whether or not he was capable of the job. Little Marco. Striking at his strength. Does he have the power? Lion Ted, dishonest. He's not calling him, his political opponents' words just to mock, but specifically like their skin color or tan. When they make fun of Trump for being orange, they're saying literally nothing about who he is or what he does other than he looks silly. So it has some power, but they still don't get what Trump does. And Trump does get it. But more importantly, if Trump doesn't care, it doesn't matter, does it? If his supporters don't care, it doesn't matter, does it? But we can see how they basically say, going back to the 80s, that's what they're concerned about. Ridiculing him over the color of his skin, saying he's the Cheeto dictator and other stupid nonsense. Well, I tell you what, let me read a little bit more. Trump himself has indicated that he feels self-conscious about comments regarding his appearance. As Vox's Aaron Rupar reported, he has repeatedly blamed energy-efficient light bulbs for his orange sheen. The new light bulbs cost 5 times as much and make you look orange, and I was more interested in the orange than I was in the cost. And everybody laughed when he said it. Trump, they don't understand, is self-deprecating. You know that you're probably familiar with comedians who do this, like Rodney Dangerfield. When people insult him, they take it, and it's funny. He's like, man, I was more bothered that I looked orange, and everyone laughs because Trump knows he's orange. This reminds me of something, and I'll wrap this up. So when people complain about me and they try and insult me, do you think they actually ever say anything about what I do or what I believe or what I say? No. They just tweet Pim Tool. I kid you not. I don't go for it, I guess. Do they think it's supposed to get to me, or I don't know what they're doing? I got to be honest. I think it's kind of like a tribal play, but it shows that all they're doing is just parroting each other like bleeding sheep with no real response to anything. Honestly, I don't care what you call me. You can literally call me anything you want. I have people insult me in my live show Super Chat all the time. They make fun of my crooked teeth, my baldness. I don't care. There's something different about whatever the freedom-loving side is, where we recognize you can't win them all. You got to have thick skin. And I don't care what you call me. I had somebody Super Chat me like $5 and insult my face and my head and everything. And I'm like, thanks for the money, dude. So listen, if you want to engage with me and follow me and complain the whole time, all that does is empower me. You're saying my name. I'm living rent-free in your head. It's the same for Donald Trump. You are so obsessed with his face. You are so obsessed with how he makes you feel instead of his policies. You keep losing. They don't get it. They don't understand. But I don't know if they will. So I'll wrap it up. Stick around. I got one more segment coming up in a few minutes, and I will see you all shortly.